And thousands rally in support of the Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, who's been released after being detained by police in Moscow.
And Babita Sharma in London, also in the programme. Russia's making the headlines this hour because thousands of people have been demonstrating in cities across the country in support of calls by the opposition leader Alexei Navalny for a boycott of the presidential election in March. Police in Moscow detained him as he took part in the rally in the city centre. He's now been released without charge. With the latest, Steve Rosenberg was at the protest and witnessed Mr. Navalny's arrest.
It isn't easy taking on the Kremlin. Alexei Navalny has been jailed 3 times in the last year. He's been barred from the upcoming presidential election. So today, Mr. Navalny called his supporters onto the streets. Alexei Navalny is Russia's most prominent opposition figure and President Putin's most vocal critic. He's been barred from running in the presidential election. He's now being arrested by police. This was no softly. We saw Mr. Navalny surrounded by police. Seconds later, he was thrown onto the ground. Then, the politician Vladimir Putin cannot bring himself to mention by name, was dragged into the police bus. His supporters called on voters to boycott the election. All the candidates, they believe, are hand-picked by the Kremlin.
They are candidates that Putin approved, and we do not have candidates that we want to have.
There's little doubt that Vladimir Putin will walk this election, with the help of Russian TV, which maintains his macho image, portraying him as a cross between action man and father of the nation. And Mr. Putin enjoys far more airtime than any of the other candidates. But the Kremlin still needs people to come out and vote for Vladimir Putin. That's why calls to boycott the elections are making the Russian authorities nervous. Steve Rosenberg, BBC News, Moscow.
While you're watching Newsday on the BBC, still to come on the programme, the father of the flat pack